Damn! What's going on there, guys? Drone worship in your face. As you can see, I've got my 5-inch torn apart and my 3-inch is already done over here. I've gotten to this point where I've been trying to get away from GoPros. I'm a huge fan of RunCam and I'm a huge fan of CADX. And I wanted a version of what GoPro had to offer with stabilization and all that, but without all this extra weight. Because these things are crazy heavy. You guys already know these GoPros are like ridiculously heavy. So I started looking at the Insta360 Go's when they came out, and yeah, they were pretty expensive when they first came out, and then the price dropped. They're around 150 bucks now for a used one, but they had overheating issues and they only shot in 1080p. And I wanted more. So then I waited a little bit longer, and RunCam first came out with the RunCam Thumb, which I do have. So you guys know I just bought this, and I got this one set up for my 3-inch. And I'm actually considering buying another one of these, but this is the new RunCam Thumb Pro. This one shoots in 4K at 30 frames per second with gyro stabilization. This one also has some extra ports on the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can. No, my camera doesn't want to focus on it because I got it on my fisheye lens right now because I'm so close to everything. But this allows you to actually set this up so that it works with your transmitter, so you can flick a toggle switch on your transmitter and actually start recording by just a quick transmitter switch movement. So that's actually a very unique feature. But they improved a lot on what the original RunCam offered. This shot in 1080, so this was my runner-up for the Insta360 Go. This doesn't have its own battery power. I wired it in just like you're supposed to, so it runs off the quad's power, doesn't have overheating problems, shoots in 1080, and still has gyroflow software capabilities because it takes gyro data. Well, it's the same thing with the RunCam Pro. This one shoots in 4K at 30, or you can choose your resolution, but this one also has gyro data, so I can run this through gyroflow. But I've seen some incredible video coming from the 4K version with gyroflow, so I was like, you know what, I have to have it. But to give you guys an idea, this thing only weighs 19 grams with the 3D case on it, so I kind of wanted to give you a little comparison here if I could. Let me turn my scale on. We'll get this set up here. I'm going to put the GoPro on there first. I'm going to wait until that zeroes out, and then we'll set the GoPro on there, and I'll show you exactly how much my GoPro Hero 7 Black weighs. There you go. As you can see, 115.9 grams, and that's without the 3D case. So once you add the 3D case, you've tacked on another like 25 grams. This is heavy. This is very heavy, so you're losing a ton of flight time to this camera and the 3D print. So now this is the RunCam Pro 4K at 30 with the 3D case on it, and it doesn't even hit 20 grams. That's crazy, right? Super, super lightweight. These on AliExpress right now are $89. That's pretty cheap to get that kind of quality for 89 bucks with gyroflow, with gyro data. Plus, you can set it up with your transmitter, so you can just flick switches and start recording and stop recording. It's impressive. It's very impressive stuff that RunCam is doing right now for under $100. So I had to buy it. So I've officially bought this one. If you guys were curious about the original RunCam Thumb, these are $49 right now. You can buy them. They're actually fairly good cameras. They're really not bad. I know everybody hated it because when they first released them, the gyroflow wasn't working properly with it, but since then they've done a lot better with the original RunCam. Now I'm still working on what my favorite setup is with that RunCam, but that one's plenty good for me. It's a nice small low profile, but for my 5-inch I wanted something that would still shoot in 4K, 1080, you know, 2.7K, all of these, and this allows me to do that with gyroflow data for stabilizing the footage, and supposedly it's really good. So I'm going to show you what pads you need to solder to on here, okay, because we're going to be attaching this to obviously the flight controller, and we're going to be doing a 5-volt pad and a ground pad. And on mine, normally depending on the size of your flight controller, they're labeled, so I'm going to show you my labeling, and then all I'm going to do is tell you whether red wire goes to what pin out on there, and then I'm just going to solder these in. Hopefully you know how to solder. If you don't, there's YouTube videos showing you how, and then you just have to constructively figure out which hole you want to run the connector through, so that later on if you have to take off your top plate, you can just pull it through one of these holes. So I have chosen this up front hole, that way that connector, I turned it sideways, and as you can see, if I turn it sideways, it does fit through there like so. So if I have to remove it, I can. That option is available to me if I need to remove the top plate without unsoldering wires. So let me solder this in there real quick, and then we're going to put the 3D mount on these two standoffs here, and then we're going to throw the lid back on and have a look at it, make sure everything powers up and is good. So it's really that simple. I'm not doing the whole wiring into the transmitter thing. I have no issue with just reaching down and pushing a button to start it, pushing a button to stop it. I actually feel more comfortable doing that. That way I know it actually started a recording. So, and then all you have to do is put this, once you put the top plate back on, all you have to do is put that in the two holes like that, screw it down, and then attach your camera, and you're done. That simple. So let me show you what my pinout is on here, what my 5-volt is, what my ground. I'm gonna tell you which wires go where. Pretty simple, but I'd rather just show you guys the video. So anyways, let me solder these in. I'll see you guys in a sec. And there you go. Pretty simple. You can see I chose my hole that I wanted to put it through, plugged it in, mounted the camera. That goes down to the main flight controller, and then you just angle it for the type of shot that you'll be taking. As you can see, it's lined up with my main camera, so when I'm leaned, I'll have the same lean factor. Same thing with your GoPros. So that is the RunCam Thumb, RunCam Thumb Pro. Let's put a battery on it, see if it powers up. There you go. As you can see, it's all powered up. Same as this one. The light comes on this one, same way it comes on this one here. So yeah, there you go. Quad's all powered up, ready to go. Don't have to have the GoPro on there. And if I crash this, look, it's what, only $89 to replace it or have a new one. And I think they actually have some 3D prints for this now, so you can actually save this thing. However, I have a feeling, because these are kind of flimsy little prints, I have a feeling this won't last very long. If this takes a hard hit, I think this is something you're going to have on order or have a whole bunch of them made. Luckily, they're probably pretty cheap. They're probably like $1.50 to $2 to have printed, so you might have to replace these mounts if you crash, or just don't crash. It's that simple. Alright, so there you go. It's a simple installation guide, and obviously I'm going to plug this into my computer now and communicate with it and see exactly what needs to happen with it, if it has the right firmware, if I have to activate things. We'll do a whole video on that. I'm going to take a recording first and just see if I can upload it directly to GyroFlow without having to adjust any settings or anything, and see what happens. But that's the installation video, and yeah, looks good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No need for the GoPro-zy. There you go. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button if it helped you out, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Toodles.
Are you sure this is okay? You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay? All right.